Hey everyone, welcome to Hazel Math. In this video, I will be going through the solutions of the Gauss Grade 7 2017 math competition. So, let's get started. The value of 2 plus 4 plus 6 minus 1 plus 3 plus 5 is. So the first thing you realize that when there's a negative outside of the brackets and you take out the brackets, the positives inside also turn to negative. So 2 minus 1 equals to 1. 4 minus 3 also equals to 1, and 6 minus 5 also equals to 1. Therefore, the correct answer is 3, giving you B. Number 2, based on the graph shown, which sport is played by the most students? So you look at the graph here, and you see that soccer has the most amount of students. Therefore, C is the correct answer. Number 3, Michael has $280 in $20 bills. How many $20 bills does he have? So 280 divided by 20 equals to 14. Therefore, C is the correct answer. Number 4, when two integers between 1 and 10 are multiplied, the result is 14. What is the sum of these integers? These two integers. So 14 equals to 1 times 14 and also equals to 2 times 7. But 14 and 1 are not between 1 and 10, so the two integers cannot be these two. And 2 and 7 are between 1 and 10. 1 and 10. So you know that these are the two integers. So 2 plus 7 equals to 9. Therefore, D is the correct answer. Number 5, 3 thousandths equal to. So 0 point, this digit is the tenth, this is the hundredths, and this is the thousandth. So this would be 3. Therefore, E is the correct answer. In the square shown, x is equal to, so you know that all four angles in the square is 90 degrees, and since x is half of this angle, you know that it would be 90 divided by 2, which equals to 45. Therefore, x is equal to 45 degrees. Number 7, which integer is closest in the value to 35 over 4? So if you plug 35 over 4 into your calculator, you get 8.75. So you know that this number is in between 8 and 9. And from 8, it is 0.75 away. And from 9, it is 0.25 away. And since 0.25 is smaller than 0.75, you know that C is the correct answer. Number 8, when n is 101, which of the following expressions has an even value? So you know 3 is an odd number and n is an odd number. So odd times odd is odd. So A cannot be correct. Odd plus even is odd, so that cannot be correct. Odd minus even is also odd, so C cannot be correct. 2 multiplied by odd, so an even number multiplied by an odd number would give you an even number. Minus an even number also gives you an even number. So D should be the right answer, but let's check just in case. So E, 3 times an odd number, so an odd times an odd would give you an odd number, plus an even number would give you an odd number, so that's not even either. Number 9, the sum of 3 consecutive integers is 153. The largest of these 3 integers is, so you have 3 consecutive integers that sums up to 153. So we're going to let the middle number here equal to x. So this number will be x minus 1, and here will be x plus 1. So then you realize that this negative 1 and this plus 1 can be cancelled out. So you get 3x equals to 153, and x equals to 51. And you want the largest. So 51 plus 1 equals to 52. Therefore, A is the correct answer. 10. In the diagram, triangle PQR is equilateral and is made up of 4 smaller equilateral triangles. If each of the smaller triangles has a perimeter of 9 centimeters, what is the perimeter of triangle PQR? So in the smaller equilateral triangles, you know that the perimeter is 9. So 9 divided by 3, because a triangle has 3 sides, equals to 3. So you know that each of these sides has a length of 3. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And this side would have a length of 6. And since a triangle has 3 sides, 6 times 3 equals to 18. Therefore, E is the correct answer. Question 11. The number that goes into the square to make 3 over 7 equals to square over 63 true is, so 7 multiplied by 9 would give you 63. So 3 multiplied by 9 equals to 27. So the correct answer is A. Number 12. At the Gaussian store, puzzles cost $10 each or $50 for a box of 6 puzzles. If a customer would like exactly 25 puzzles, what is the minimum possible cost? So for each puzzle, buying a bundle of 6 for $50 is much more cheaper than buying one puzzle for $10. So we're going to buy bundles of 6 puzzles as much as possible. So 25 divided by 6 equals to 4, remainder 1. So 4 times 50, because you have 4 bundles of 6 puzzles, each bundle costing $50, plus 1 times 10, which would equal to $210. Therefore, A is the correct answer. Number 13. When the shaded triangle shown is translated, which of the following triangles can be obtained? So if a triangle or any shape is translated, it can only move up, down, right, or left. And if you can see, A, C, E, and B all have the shaded triangles rotated. Only D has the triangle that only moved up, down, left, or right, and not rotated. Therefore, D is the correct answer. Number 14. The time in Toronto, Ontario is 1 p.m. The time in Gander, Newfoundland is 2:30 p.m. A flight from Toronto to Gander takes 2 hours and 15 minutes. If the flight departs at 3 p.m. Toronto time, what time will the flight land in Gander, Gander time? So the flight departs at 3 p.m. And if it takes 2 hours and 15 minutes, this would give you 5:50 p.m. in Toronto time. And to transfer this into Gander's time, you see that they have a 1 hour and 30-minute difference. So if you add that 1 hour and 30 minutes, you get 680, and that would equal to 720. Therefore, A is the correct answer. Number 15. 5 students ran a race. Ryan was faster than Henry and FaZe. Henry was slower than FaZe. Tama was faster than Ryan, but slower than Omar. Which student finished 4th? So Ryan was faster than FaZe, but FaZe was also faster than Henry. And Toma was faster than Ryan, but slower than Omar. So which student finished 4th? 1, 2, 3, 4, FaZe. A is the correct answer. Number 16. A circular spinner is divided into 20 equal sections as shown. An arrow is attached to the center of the spinner. The arrow is spun once. What is the probability that the arrow stops in a section containing a number that is a divisor of 20? So the divisors of 20 include 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. And if you count them, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would be 6 over 20, giving you the answer E. Number 17. The mean or average of the 4 numbers 78, 83, 82, and x is 80. Which one of the following statements is true? So we're just going to calculate x. So 78 plus 83 plus 82 plus x divided by 4 equals to 80. X would give you 77. And if you look through all of the statements, then you find that D is the correct answer because 80 minus 77 equals to 3. So then X is 3 less than the mean. Question 18. Sarah goes to a bookstore and wants to buy a book that is originally priced at $100. Which of the following options gives her the best discounted price? So a discount of 20%. So 100 multiplied by 0.8 gives you $80. For B, you would have to do 100 multiplied by 0.9, multiply the whole thing again by 0.9, giving you $81. For C, it will give you 100 multiplied by 0.85, then multiply by 0.95, giving you $80.75. For D, it's the same thing as C, just you change the numbers around. So 100 multiplied by 0.95 multiplied by 0.85 would also give you $80.75. Therefore, A, which is 80, the least priced around here in between A, B, C, and D. Therefore, A is the correct answer. Number 19. Two sheets of 11 centimeters by 8 centimeters paper are placed on top of each other, forming an overlapping 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters square in the center as shown. The area of rectangle WXYZ is. So you know that this is a square and the side length is 8. Because this is 11, you know that this is 3. And because this is 11, you know that this is 3. And this, because it's the same side length as this, is also 8. So the area would equal to 8, the width, times the length, which is 3 plus 8 plus 3. The final answer will be 112, therefore B is the correct answer. Number 20. Betty and Anne are walking around a rectangular park with dimensions 600 meters by 400 meters as shown. They both begin at the top left corner of the park and walk at constant but different speeds. Betty walks in a clockwise direction and Anne walks in a counterclockwise direction. Points P, Q, R, S, T divide the bottom edge of the park into 6 segments of equal length. When Betty and Anne meet for the first time, they are between Q and R. Which of the following could be the ratio of Betty's speed to Anne's speed? So the first thing I'm going to do is separate into two conditions if they first met at Q and if they first met at R. So you know that they didn't meet at Q or R, you know they met in between. So if we find their ratios, we would have to look at the answers provided and see which answer provided is between the ratios of Q and R. So I'm going to calculate the distance first. Betty's distance would be 600 plus 400 plus 4 multiplied by 600 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, giving me 1,400 meters. And on the other hand, will give me 400 plus 2 times 600 over 6, which is 100, giving me 600 meters. Therefore, the ratio would be 7 to 3. In the case of R, Betty's speed would be 600 plus 400 plus 3 times 100, which equals to 1,300. And would be 400 plus 3 times 100, giving me 700. This ratio would be 13 over 7. So 7 over 3 equals to 2 and 1 over 3. And then 13 over 7 would give me 1 and 6 over 7. So we want to find a ratio that is between these two. So if we look at the answers, 3 over 5 would give me 1 and 2 over 3. 9 over 4 would give me 2 and 1 over 4. 11 over 6 would give me 1 and 5 over 6. 12 over 5 would give me 2 and 2 over 5. And 17 over 7 would give me 2 and 3 over 7. So if you look, B, 2 and 1 over 4, only one in between 2 and 1 over 3 and 1 and 6 over 7. Question 21. Rectangles that measure 4 by 2 are positioned in a pattern in which the top left vertex of each rectangle, after the top one, is placed at the midpoint of the bottom edge of the rectangle above it as shown. When a total of 10 rectangles are arranged in this pattern, what is the perimeter of the figure? So we can use the figure to the right as a reference. And we see that this is 4, this is 2, so this would also be 2. And since this is 4 and this is the midpoint, this is 2. And we know that this is 2, this is 2, 2, 2, 2. We also know this is 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So we realize that if there are 4 rectangles, then there are 4 of these 2's. So we have 4, and in this case we have 10 rectangles, so we have 10 times 2. And we see it's the same story on the right side, plus 10 times 2. But if we see, we have 4 rectangles, but we only have 1, 2, 3 of these ones. So plus 9 times 2. Again, same story. 1, 2, 3. So instead of 10, we do 9 times 2. And we realize that we are missing this 4. And for the very last rectangle, they also have a 4 here. So we add 2 4s. And if you punch this into the calculator, you should be getting 84, giving you the answer D. Question 22. In the 6-digit number 1 ABCDE, each letter represents a digit. Given that 1 ABCDE times 3 equals to ABCDE1, the value of A plus B plus C plus D plus E is... So for this question, we're going to lay it out so that it's easier for us. So 1 A, B, C, D, E times 3 gives you 1 A, B, C, D, opposite way, A, B, C, D, E. So in this case, we look at the letters one by one, and first let's look at E. So E is a digit multiplied by 3 gives you a number that ends with 1. And if you think through 1 through 9, you realize that 7 is the only number that can be multiplied by 3 and has an answer that's unit digit is 1. So you realize that E is 7. So 3 times 7 is 21. Okay, so moving on to D. We also know that E in this case is 7. So 3 times D. So 3D plus this 2 gives you something with the remainder ending with 7. So 3D, you minus 2 on both sides, you get something that ends with 5, and you go through the digits 0 through 9, and you realize that D must be 5, because 3 times 5 is 15, which ends with 5. So D is 5. This is also 5. So 3 times 5 is 15. Again, we do the same thing with 3C plus this 1. Gives you something remainder with the last unit digit of 5. So 3C equals to 4. Something with ending with a 4. And you realize that C has to equal to 8. So 8. And then for B, 8 times 3 is 24. So then 3B plus 2 equals to something with a remainder of 8. 3B equals to something with a remainder of 6. So B has to equal to 2. So if B is 2. So same story with A. You find that 3 times A equals to something remainder of 2. And you realize that A has to equal to 4. And when A equals to 4, you realize this also equals to 4. So then if you add up A, B, C, D, E, you get 4 plus 2 plus 8 plus 5 plus 7, which gives you 26. Therefore, B is the correct answer. Question 23. Given 8 dimes, which are 10-cent coins, and 3 quarters, which are 25-cent coins, how many different amounts of money can be created using one or more of the 11 coins? So for this question, I'm going to be making a chart. So for this chart, on the horizontal row, I have the number of 10-cent coins, and then on the vertical row, I have the number of 25-cent coins. So the first thing I realized after I finished this chart is that there are repeats. So I realized that 50 and 50 are repeats, 60, 60, 70, 70, 80, 80, then 75, 75, 85, 85, 95, and 95, and 105 and 105. Then I'm going to delete one of the repeats. But then if you go back to question, you realize that you can't have 0 10-cent coins and 0 25-cent coins. So 0 is not a possibility. So it says you have to use one or more of the 11 coins. Therefore, if you count up all the possibilities, you realize that you only get 27 possibilities. Question 24. 4 vertices of a quadrilateral are located at 7, 6, negative 5, 1, negative 2, 3, and 10, 2. The area of the quadrilateral in square units is... So for this question, I'm going to be drawing the diagram directly, and we can see how much easier it will get from using the diagram. Okay, and then from here on, you realize that you want to find the area of this. But you also realize that this is surrounded by a bunch of triangles, right angle triangles at that. And you also realize that because this is a coordinate grid, you can count the side lengths and know the length of these triangles. And then you can use the area of this rectangle, subtract these 4 right angle triangles whose side lengths you know, and you would get the area of this. So I'm going to label all the side lengths and then calculate my final result. Okay, so then I'm going to have the area of the entire rectangle, which equals to 10 plus 5 multiplied by 6 plus 3, and subtracted by 5 times 5 plus 7 divided by 2, this triangle, minus 3 times 4 divided by 2, which is this triangle, minus 4 times 3 divided by 2, this triangle, minus 5 times 12 divided by 2, this triangle. And if you punch this into the calculator, you should get 63. Therefore, B is the correct answer. Question 25. Ashley writes out the first 2017 positive integers. She then underlines any of the 2017 integers that is a multiple of 2. Then underlines any of the 2017 integers that is a multiple of 3. And then underlines any of the 2017 integers that is a multiple of 5. Finally, Ashley finds the sum of all the integers which have not been underlined. What is the sum? For this question, we need to find the sum of the first 2017 integers, then subtract the sum of the multiples of 2, then subtract the sum of the multiples of 3, and then finally subtract the sum of the multiples of 5. However, after that, we should realize that some of the multiples of 2, 3, and 5 overlap each other and were subtracted multiple times, which is not what we intend to do. So we need to find the lowest common multiple of 2, 3, 2, 5, 3, 5, and 2, 3. And then we need to subtract the multiples of the sum of those lowest common multiples. So then I'm just going to write out basically what I said. So we have sum of all 2017 integers. And then we need to subtract by the sum of the multiples of 2. And then subtract the sum of the multiples of 3. And then subtract the sum of the multiples of 5. And then we need to add the sum of the multiples of 15, which is the lowest common multiple of 3 and 5. And then add the sum of the multiples of 6, which is the lowest common multiple of 2 and 3. And then add the sum of multiples of 10, which is the lowest common multiple of 2 and 5. So then we should know the formula that the sum of consecutive integers equals to the first number times the last number, first number plus last number multiplied by the numbers of numbers divided by 2, like such. So first number, which is 1, last number, which is 2017, multiplied by the number of numbers, which is 2017, divided by 2. All right, in 2's case, we have 2, 4, 6, all the way until 2016. So then for this case, we're going to divide all of these numbers by 2. So we get 1, 2, 3, all the way until 1008. So really, this is just first number, 1, plus last number, 1008, multiply it by the number of numbers, 1008, divided by 2. But because we divided by 2 here, we multiply everything by 2. And then I'm going to do the same process for 3, 5, 15, 6, and 10. So then if we punch all of this into our calculators, we should be getting 611048. But then we also realize that there are overlaps between the lowest common multiples. And we realize that 30 is the lowest common multiples of the lowest common multiples. So we also have to do the sum of the 30s. So 30, sum of the sum of the multiples of 30, which is 30 multiplied by 67, multiplied by 67 plus 1 over 2. Equals to 68340. So then 611048 minus 68340 is 542708.